Supervisor of Elections building in Duval County, Florida. Then, Sarah Gaver, self-advocate.
I'm Sarah Gaver. I am from Jacksonville, Florida. I am 28 years old, white female with blonde hair, and I'm currently wearing a green shirt. I use a power wheelchair to get around with a robotic arm.
I'm Greg Clark, Director of Community Outreach and Events at the Duval County Supervisor of Elections office. I'm a white male, 58 years old. I'm wearing glasses and a purple shirt. Each eligible American citizen has the right to vote in an election. 1 in 4 adults in the United States has some type of disability, making it important to ensure polling locations have accessible voting machines for all to be able to exercise that right.
Sarah.
I have the same exact rights, and I can go straight to the poll and vote just like anybody else can.
The Help America Vote Act requires at least 1 voting machine in every polling place be accessible to anyone with a disability. To use the voting technology, poll workers need to know how to use the machines, and they should inform voters that they are available at their location.
Poll workers set up an accessible voting machine.
The voting machines should always be positioned facing away from others, so it protects the voter's privacy.
A poll worker guides Sarah to an accessible voting machine.
When you arrive to vote, inform a poll worker that you need to use an accessible voting machine, and they should direct you to an available option.
I just said I needed an accessible voting, and they said, oh, it's right here. Nobody's used it yet today. And I was like, cool, I'll be the first one.
Remember, voting access is your right.
It's very important that you vocalize what accommodations you do need, so that way you can be as independent as possible and not let the people who are there helping you decide what accommodations you do and don't need. So you have that right and you have a voice to be able to use it.
An express vote machine featuring a touch screen.
In this video, we'll go over the features of the Express Vote voting machine, which is what we use here in Duval County so that you can be prepared to vote. First, we will cover an overview of the device. The Express Vote machine provides voters with several accessibility features, including a large touch screen to better view and cast the ballot, assistive input devices for accessible ballot navigation and voting, including headphones, a user keypad known as an audio tactile interface, or ATI, head pointer or mouse stick, sip and puff, and a rocker switch device. If you are blind or have low vision, the Express Vote machine provides additional accessibility options. First, the visual display can be adjusted by a poll worker using the touch screen.
A poll worker demonstrates how to use the Express Vote machine, as Greg explains.
There are 2 different zoom levels to enlarge the screen for individuals with low vision, and the contrast button allows users to view text and informational graphics at a higher contrast. The Express Vote machine can read the ballot aloud through headphones.
Audio instructions from the Express Vote machine.
Use the down arrow key to hear each choice. Use the select key to make your selection.
This can benefit blind people and people with low vision, and also people with invisible disabilities like learning or intellectual disabilities. The keypad contains raised keys that can be identified by touch, by their different shapes, and visually by their shapes and colors. The keypad is accessible for blind voters because of the raised keys and the Braille text identifying each function, including a blue square-shaped button in the middle of the controller for selecting choices. 4 yellow triangle-shaped buttons surround the blue square button, pointing up, down, left, and right. The yellow left and right arrows navigate through the questions and advance the screen. The yellow up and down arrows move the cursor and navigate to the previous screen. An orange rectangular button at the bottom right adjusts the volume of the audio ballot. A purple rectangular tempo button immediately above the orange volume button changes the audio speed. A green round button is the repeat button. A black diamond-shaped button at the top right darkens the screen for privacy. An aqua octagon-shaped button on the bottom right next to the volume button is the pause button. A white triangle-shaped button on the bottom left is the home key. The keypad also includes T-coil coupling, a device that works with hearing aids and cochlear implants to couple with assistive listening devices, audio systems, and cell phones. The ExpressVote machine has a T4 rating for interference. For people with disabilities that can impact dexterity, the keypad can accommodate sip and puff or paddle switches. The keypad can also be operated with one hand. Voters can also use a head pointer or mouth stick with the touchscreen. Voters requiring sip and puff access should be assisted by a poll worker who will set up the ExpressVote with the sip and puff, insert the individual's ballot, and help select the voting style. In order to use the ExpressVote machine, a voter must insert their blank ballot into the machine. The ballot has a cut corner on the top right to help voters insert the ballot into the slot at the bottom right of the machine. A poll worker can help you with this step if you need assistance.
Rebecca Kaufman, professional executive assistant to Supervisor of Elections, helps Sarah insert a paper ballot into the machine.
Would you like for me to insert the ballot for you?
Yes, please.
Scanning card.
The poll worker should then step away, allowing the voter to complete their ballot in privacy.
Rebecca steps away and Sarah uses a mouth stick to make selections on the touch screen.
I'll be right over here. If there's anything else I can do for you, let me know.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
You need to be able to have that privacy just like anybody else would. Just because I need a few additional accommodations doesn't mean that I need somebody watching over me at the same time. I can do it on my own.
For ballots that have a write-in option, the ExpressVote machine will activate an on-screen keypad.
Sarah writes in using the on-screen keypad.
The sip and puff will enable the voter to choose by sipping on the straw and then selecting their preferred option by breathing into the tube slightly. Voters can then sip consecutively to confirm their choice, or puff once the next button appears in order to advance the screen. To change the selection, voters can scroll through options by sipping consecutively and then puffing once their choice is selected.
A person uses a sip and puff straw to scroll through options on the screen.
Now that we have covered the accessibility features of the ExpressVote voting machine, we will briefly demonstrate how you submit your ballot.
This is a summary of your selections.
Once the voter goes through the voting process, they can review, edit, and verify their selections before casting their ballot. Once their ballot is submitted, they will be taken to the print card display, and the built-in printer produces a marked paper ballot that serves as an official ballot record. Then follow the poll worker's instruction to cast your printed ballot.
Alrighty, so let's take your ballot to cast your vote.
Rebecca helps Sarah print and cast her ballot, then places an I voted sticker on her shirt.
So you've had an opportunity to look over this and you're ready to cast your vote?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty. Would you like an I voted sticker?
Of course.
May I place it on your shoulder?
Sure.
There you are. Look forward to seeing you next election. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Sarah exits the voting center.
I finally have a voice. I'm able to voice what I think this country needs, and I have the right to do it on my own with my own independence, however I'm capable.
We hope that this video has helped prepare you for using the ExpressVote machine when you go to vote in upcoming elections.
Don't miss your chance on having your voice heard. It's something that you have the right to go and do, and so you should do it.
Thank you.
A quote on a wall of the Duval County Supervisor of Elections building that reads, "We convey the voice of the people by providing fair, accurate, and accessible elections with transparency and integrity." These materials were produced and funded by Access the Vote Florida and Disability Rights Florida Incorporated, in association with Block by Block Creative, through the Federal Protection and Advocacy for Voting Access Grant Program administered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Administration for Community Living, and through additional support by the American Association of People with Disabilities.